Welcome back into the workshop for a very quick one. Well, hopefully it is. I say that so often and prove myself wrong. However, I can't believe how easy it has turned out to create a jig to allow me to cut these half-lap type of joints for a project that I've got coming up in a few weeks or a month or so time. I want to get the jig sorted because I thought it's going to take a bit to get sorted by the time I've gone through all different iterations that generally will fail. But this afternoon I came out here and I had a bit of an idea and I thought, oh, that works. Oh, this was even better. And I've put a fence, just temporary, this is a prototype, that goes on the actual fence itself that I've already got there in the background. I cut a hole in it to extend the port so that when I'm cutting, the dust can, be collected, because I wanted a fence right at this point where the cut's made. So obviously, having a blank there would not be a good idea. I have contemplated having a fence like this on the other side. It's unnecessary, and any chip that gets thrown off will be going straight into the port anyway. Now, once I work out how I'm going to make my first cut, which may be just a mark on my board like this, and these boards or pieces of timber could be a couple of meters long, and I need to be able to make these cuts at whatever spacing I want. That could be quite close, or they could be quite far apart, like 2 foot apart, 600. And I wanted to be able to make the cuts with the saw, move it along to do the next cut at whatever spacing I require. I've tried that in the past, and tell you, I came up with some real humdinger of ways of doing it, none of which were very satisfactory, and they, to be fair, didn't work all that well. But having watched a few videos, that's what we do, I started looking at these ones that are done on the table saw and routers where they make the finger joints, and I came out here probably a couple of minutes ago, looked at the fence that I had there, and I thought, and you can see the marks I've just made on the fence, just a felt pen, and then I put a couple of holes in it, and then I've altered it so where I've got the actual drill bit itself, because that's pretty much what the finger joint type of jigs I've seen other people make. For this, sometimes they make them with a block or a piece of aluminium, which I had contemplated, and this is my initial thought. How do I hold this? It is 3 millimeters thick, about the same dimension as the kerf on the saw there. There's my kerf. There's the aluminium. It will go in there. Excuse my cough. Ah dear. But it's tight. 3 millimeter drill is also it's same as this. It's 3 millimeters. It's tight, but for the meantime, 3 millimeters will be just fine. If I have to buy from a specialty drill outlet, which we've got just not far from here, I might go get a 2.9 or 2.8 millimeter drill bit if it proves necessary. Hopefully not. So, having made my first set of cuts, if I were to start on a fresh piece, I can then measure from that edge and put my drill bit in. And so long as I measure exactly to the edge of the drill bit, in this case it's 350, I can then bring my timbers along here and do the cuts and move them backwards and forwards, just as you would be doing if you're doing a box joint or finger joint type of setup. This is the same thing. That's how I got the idea. And as I said, I came out here a few minutes ago, looked at it, and straight away did that, and I thought, where did that come from? Well, obviously, I learnt by osmosis, and that was just watching the videos and applying it in the scenario here. And now I can have, at the drop of a hat, when I make my series of holes, I can have my half laps set up in a drop of a hat anytime I want. To make it even more registerable, no, that wasn't the right word. Well, it's the right word, but I couldn't pronounce it. If I want to register this properly, I need to fix it to a board in the back, say something like this, that can pin to the MFT style of top that I've got for my mitre saw. Yeah, hey. And then I can fix the fence to it, and it then locates with the holes, and it's going to be readily available to be inserted whenever I want it. So this can be taken off. I can go back to the standard mitre saw function, and I won't have to have a stupid clamp like this to hold it. Might have to have something holding it at this point so it doesn't move, but once it's, well, the logic is that this is a bit of 60 by 40 aluminium box section. It fits in the 40mm dimension, giving me a 60mm upstand, and I can have that in there. I can make a longer one, come out to wherever, makes it a wee bit more rigid than this is, and that board can fix to that aluminium box section. Glue it, screw it, fix it in whatever manner, then the whole thing can be plucked out and ready for action next time. How clever is that? And I couldn't believe it when like I said, I just came out here just a few minutes ago to do this, and it just went, oh, you just do it like that. Ugh. I couldn't believe, after all the trials that I've gone through before, like a year or two ago when I was doing those units out there behind the very dirty window, how much I tried to battle my tools and myself to get it to work, and I never really succeeded. This, just like that. So, like I say, did it by osmosis, but osmosis via a lot of other people's videos. So thank you, all those people. Just reapplying a simple idea, is going to work wonders. Still have to get any little glitches out by actually doing the rail, getting it all working, and proving that it does work in the manner I have just described. Right, so that was brief. Now I've also got the storage unit job suspended. I've got my friend coming around on Saturday. Today's Thursday night late, but he's coming around Saturday to have a look, and between us we'll determine what we need for the job. There is different edge banding available, and he'll determine which one's suitable, and hopefully he can sort out a supply for it, and I flick him the money to his company, and I can get the rolls of the banding, because they come in apparently all different lengths. Obviously, for a big company, they'd probably have massive rolls, and if we can determine, like a roll size, I can then start edge banding all the panels. There's quite a few, and it's probably between 50 plus panels. I worked out probably in excess of 40 linear meters, so that's a lot, and it's all going to be done with a hand iron as likely. It would be nice if he had a handheld one. It's asking a bit much, but I looked them up today to see how much they were, and yes, it was the price I did remember from some time ago. From $700 to $900 as a fairly basic one, and I'm going, nah, not going to pay that for something I'm really going to probably not have a lot of use for in the future, says I today. But that's a lot of money. If I can make the storage unit just by edge banding it, just by using the domestic iron, that's what I'm going to do. Save the money, spend it on something else, or don't spend it at all, would be better. But yeah, So that'll be interesting on Saturday and see what we can come up with. So until I get that, because he'll have to go away and sort it, the purchasing person that does that sort of thing and I'm going to suspend it for a wee while until I get it banded, and then I can actually trim it to its absolute final length. It might already be there. I think it is, so I may not even have to worry about trimming it at all, which would be good. But I will have to fit some of the shelves because some of them are fixed, some of them are, removable. So, of course, they have to be dimensioned down that little amount that takes the actual shelf support brackets, which I've already got. So, yay. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to go inside and probably hit the sack and come out here tomorrow, hit the ground running, as it were, and do this little thing here. I still can't believe how easy it's turned out to be, how simple, how non-complicated it's turned out to be, and adjustable. Rightio, that's it. I'm off. I'll leave you alone, and I will see you, hopefully, in the next one. Okay, bye now.